Hey there, good afternoon. I'm Lucas Bond with the Missouri Department of Conservation with your habitat hints for today. And we're going to talk about edge feathering. And I am very grateful to have here with me MDC's Seth Barrioz, and he's going to tell us all we need to know about edge feathering. So let's get this turned around. All right, how's it going, Seth?
Going well.
Thanks for doing this for us. So we're going to talk edge feathering today. Tell us a little bit about edge feathering and why it's so important when you're working on making your land better for habitat.
Yeah, so what edge feathering is taking a hard tree line and cutting some of the trees. You can select for some larger trees. You can also select some of the smaller trees, or maybe some undesirables such as honey locust or cedar trees that are grown up in there. And it eases that transition. Instead of just having a grass field bumping right up to mature timber in a hard line, that is really hard for some animals who like that shrubby cover. And so what we do is we come in and we cut some of these trees, and we'll treat them with a herbicide so they don't re-sprout. For the ones that we don't, if we do want it to re-sprout because maybe it's a desirable forage, we can leave it. But what we're doing is we're easing that transition. So we go grass, then we get into some shrubs and grass. We can also get into some more broadleaf plants such as our desirable forbs, our legumes, and then it transitions further back into our hard timber. And so what's great about edge feathering here is when we drop this down, it serves multiple purposes. So we can actually have great nesting cover, we can have good escape cover, and we can also provide an additional food source that may have not been here otherwise. If you notice right here on this edge, we are also encouraging some wild grapes that is really desirable from a food source for a deer. But when we're talking about nesting cover, you know, our birds can get in here where these shrubs and these broadleaf plants are starting to grow, and they can have a desirable nesting. They got great cover that they're not exposed to predators that are on the same level as them, but also from an escape cover. So they can get in here into these down to treetops and stay safe, but if a predator were to come in here after them, you notice that the branches are fairly loosely structured, and so birds can actually fly up out of those loosely structured tops. If we were to come in here and drop, say, a bunch of cedar trees here on this spot, it may be too dense for a bird to come and fly up out of, and so we want that loose structure. Think of it as like an old Plinko game. It was as if you tossed maybe a tennis ball, or not a tennis ball, but a volleyball, and it trickled down to the ground. That's a good structure. If it gets up there and that volleyball can't penetrate down through those tops, that's probably a little bit too dense for an edge feathering to be successful.
So tell us why we leave like the branches and stuff on the ground more. Like, do we remove those, or are we supposed to leave those?
Yeah, we would leave those. That is the cover. Okay, that's the initial cover. Sure. And so as those treetops begin to rot down or die, or maybe you have prescribed fire within your management, you'll burn up some of these tops. But the great thing is they're being replaced by those broadleaf plants and those shrubs that we have encouraged by having a staggered succession where we have grassland, shrubs, and then our mature forest behind us.
How do you learn? Where can we learn more about edge feathering on our website?
We can go to the conservation, and you can look up for the contacts for your county contact for your local private land conservationist.
And where do you find that at? You just go to mdc.mo.gov, correct?
Correct, yes. In the upper right-hand corner, you can go to the Who's Your County Contact.
All right, I appreciate it very much, Seth. Thank you so much. And again, we can see kind of how it looks here. You see the grass, and then you see this where they have edge feathered and going back up to timber. Really, really cool stuff. Again, I appreciate it, Seth. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can learn more, like he said, on our website at mdc.mo.gov.